Hi everybody, this is Sterling McGarvey.
And this is Hollander Cooper.
And we're taking a look at ZombiU, which is upcoming for the Wii U. So this area is very early in the game. Basically, if you've heard of ZombiU, it takes place in London amidst a zombie apocalypse. It's a survival horror title with a heavy emphasis on survival. Case in point, where I am right now, I am basically preparing to take on this massive mob of zombies by standing on the fence and just trying to stave them off very carefully and defensively.
Knock that guy's head clean off.
Some people may laugh about this and be like, oh, just jump in and confront them. But this game isn't like that. Pretty much, if more than one zombie at a time is coming after you, it's very much a life or death experience.
One bite and you're dead, right?
Yeah, well, it's one bite and you're... Well, there's the health mark. You do have a health meter, as you can see in the upper right corner on the gamepad, so I've taken minimal damage there. I'm already playing as a new survivor because this is the point where I died as my first survivor. So, again, people may laugh and say, haha, he's on the fence. No, there's a really good reason I am on the fence, because that many zombies, if you just go in guns blazing, so to speak, you're as good as respawning as someone else.
Yeah, and if you ever read like the Walking Dead comics, there's points where they're like, let's just try to find a way to kill zombies one at a time really slowly, because in a zombie apocalypse, that's probably a good idea.
Well, what you'll also notice is when you do die, you then have to take on the zombified version of the person you were. Now, she is off in the background, and you'll notice her shortly, but it's just, this is this is coming in a bit, it's one of the first missions in the game. It's past the tutorial, but it's really tense. Very, very tense, because there's the heavier emphasis on survival. It's the fact that you can die very, very easily, and once you die, you need to kill the former person and get your backpack of goods and your very bare bones up to that point.
Ugh.
So
that sounds almost like Demon Souls-y in a way, like trying to find your corpse.
Yeah, it's brutal, it's gruesome, and it's really tense because also you're playing on new hardware. So
that's a good note. Is that you?
That is the former, yes. That is the person I was playing as before, who has now turned.
Uh-oh, that's a bad swing.
Yeah, that's the thing is, you have to be very careful with your swings. You don't just indiscriminately get to swing. You kind of have to prime it, and then aim it, and then do it, but not be too close. And one hit isn't going to do it, as you notice, because she's been scalped, but isn't quite dead yet. That did it.
There you go. Now you get all your stuff back?
And now you get your stuff. As you notice in the upper right corner on the Wii U gamepad, that's where you manage all of your items. So that is picking through all of the stuff that was there, including flares, which are a great distraction device for zombies, your health items, your health packs, your candy, soda for small increments, and of course, ammo. But honestly, ammo comes at such a premium that largely it was cricket bat. Also because your gunfire will distract, it'll draw more zombies. So,
and I like the fact that you actually have to look. You have to kind of look between the tablet and the screen to see if a zombie is sneaking up on you.
Well, in the lower right, you notice that little beacon there?
Yeah. That
beacon is kind of a motion sensor, which indicates whether anything is moving in the area. So what you'll do is you'll tap the button, which you'll probably notice I will do later in the demo. You'll kind of hear a beep beep. And that'll tell you, okay, there's something coming. Now, that could be zombies, but if it skitters across the map really quickly and you see another beacon when you follow up, it's probably a rat. So the rats can be decoys. So there's a lot of methods that Ubisoft has instituted to kind of build that tension. And I think it's the fact that it's new hardware, you're distracted because you've got to focus on two things and really multitask, and it doesn't take much to die. It's a very stressful game.
It's good to see that you took time to clean the blood off your cricket bat, though.
Yes. It's the important stuff.
Poor Sky King.
I know. Feel terrible for her. Now I was playing as a cop.
So
that's so your flashlight function there. Oh, crap. There we go. Another alarm went off. That's what caused it in the first. That's how I died the first time. I opened the door.
It's funny because you did like a little shake when the alarm went off, so it's obvious that your mindset was like, oh, God, I completely forgot that's what happened.
Yep. Yeah, you notice in my hands. So what I'm doing there, I turned off the flashlight because I was running low on battery. And I'm kind of waiting, and I'm hitting that pulse meter to see if there's any more zombies coming, but it looks like everything's cool. As cool as it'll be.
Yeah.
There we go. There's the beep. As you'll notice there, the red, when you tap that beacon and red pops up, that's your motion sensor going off. So I'm also trying to scan the area for a closed circuit camera, because in the game, kind of your game master is telling you, okay, every time there's a closed circuit camera around London, there we go, there's a zombie, that he will hack into it, and that's what opens up your map and shows you where things are. So right now, flying completely blind, except for the motion detector. Nothing on the corpse.
It's moody as hell.
It's really moody. There's the sense of the unknown, and of course, yes, you're looking at your gamepad a ton of the time. Now, one thing I didn't realize from the first time I'd played this is you don't just have to tilt the gamepad. Now, of course, for the sake of those of you viewing and for our cameraman there, I didn't tilt the motion sensing too much. You can also use the right stick.
But you can, like, look around your room if you want?
Theoretically, you could.
That'd be a terrible idea, but if you want to go full-blown immersion, stand up and spin around your room.
And you will look incredibly stupid doing so, but don't worry.
No one will
We
judge
won't
you.
tell anybody. We won't tell anybody. So, let's see, what was going on here? Other than me kind of worrying about where the camera was. Mind you, the camera actually isn't until later on. So, a lot of exploration, kind of poking around. It almost feels like you're playing a game with a blindfold in a way, because you don't know what's coming. There's zombie on a meat hook.
I like that pro move of not even looking at it. You're like, I don't want to see if it's there. It's like closing your eyes during a horror movie. It's like, there may be a zombie next to me. I'm just going to hit the motion sensing button and hope that that shaking and monstrous growl I heard wasn't anything of interest.
To be totally honest, I didn't even notice it was there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, we're watching a replay of me playing this.
Yeah,
No, I literally did not even realize that thing was moving because I was so focused on getting the door open and what was around the corner. That's the tense. That's the tension, though. That is the kind of tension that this game it infuses you with. I don't think I remember the last time I played a survival horror game that just kind of had me on edge like this, and I think it's because you're so distracted and you're managing so many things at once.
Which is cool because it makes sense that you're distracted. It's like the game's not doing all of this work for you.
Well, that's the key. Is it's a totally different kind of, not just like a shooter per se. It doesn't put you in the position of, I mean, I haven't played a zombie game like this in a while. It doesn't put you in the position of, oh, I'm a great badass. Oh, there's this mini game where you have to tap and pry that open. You're not invincible badass with a bunch of teammates like Left 4 Dead per se. It's not like Resident Evil, even the older Resident Evils. It's, you have a multitude of things that you have to manage at the same time while trying to stay alive while you can be easily killed. And that provides this sort of new tension that I don't think I've played in a game before. And
typically when you're playing a game and it's like, oh, I need to manage my inventory, it ends up being to a detriment to the experience. But this game it looks so, at least from the video especially, that it's built to actually use that as a mechanic.
Yeah.
Not just like they didn't feel like coding something to make it so I could manage my inventory. It's like you're supposed to be scared when you're looting a zombie.
Very much so. And keeping an eye out.
So did you get used to the controller after a while, or was it always sort of a mild encumbrance?
I actually finally got into the groove of it towards the end.
All right, cool.
Which, I mean, it's, this was probably after about 10 minutes of poking around. But, at one point, I think during the tutorial I died. It's because I didn't remember. It's like, press the X button. Which one's X? It happens with new hardware. You don't remember all the placement. There's an adjustment period. But there's the poking around. Also, I don't remember if it was here. There's a little bit of fan service going on as well.
Somewhere nearby?
We just passed it.
Oh, what was it?
I think
I'll have to go back and rewatch it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You'll see it. Okay.
This place looks scary.
Again, rescan. Yep, there we go. That's the thing. It's scan. Okay, cool. Rescan. Make sure it's not a rat. Okay, nothing in there. And it keeps telling you, look at the gamepad. Oh, don't worry. You don't have to tell me to look at the gamepad. I am constantly thinking about what I need to be doing with the gamepad. So in that sense, it's engaging. Someone asked me, is it fun? I'm not sure if fun is the operative word as much as just intense. It feels like it's the same sort of feeling, that adrenaline that you feel, I don't know, when you're riding a roller coaster or something. It's just this constant tension to it. In that sense, there's an exhilaration, but I wouldn't say it's just like, yeah, I'm just bashing zombies' heads in. It's like, oh, what's around the corner? Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. It's effective in that regard. Now, one thing, as I'm watching this, I'm realizing that I didn't do a lot. I'm just going for using the Z left to prime the bat, and then Z right just to bash it. If you just hit Z right without priming the bat, you will shove them back. Yeah,
you did that earlier. You kind of like put both hands on it and push it forward.
Yeah. You'll notice I do that much more.
Do you think this is the kind of game that you may eventually... Oh, that's disconcerting. Like, yes. You may just push away a zombie and run instead of actually fighting?
Oh, just watch. You'll see. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Right here, you're coming up to the witch.
And there we go. I was preparing myself and got her.
Certainly didn't pull any punches when it comes to gore.
No.
That's good to see.
It never stops being gruesome.
Yeah. That's my favorite survival horror thing, is like, you start brutalizing corpses.
You just poke. You just got to make sure.
I remember Dead Space. It was like everybody ended up limbless, even the dead bodies that had been there for like a week.
That's the key, you know. You just got to make sure they're still dead. Make sure they're not going to reanimate on you. So again, tap that lower right corner. Make sure nothing's coming.
And never fully trust it regardless, because you know the game's eventually going to mess with you.
Oh, actually, no. I did go back to it. Fan service.
Cute. Aw. Poor killer rabbits.
So, all in first person, Attack of the Killer Rabbits. It's like the Gremlins version of the Raving Rabbits. So
yeah.
Ubi had their own little clever inside jokes. Alright, so we've gone through most of the supermarket here raiding for supplies, which was quite an ordeal. And now it's all about making our way towards the exit.
Are you whispering because you don't want the zombies to hear?
Yes.
Because if so, that's a good idea.
Yes, it totally is. Actually, no.
Box, link the pad up to bring the cameras
no,
back
that wasn't
online.
it. It was the CC camera. That was it. So a lot of kind of just, in general, it's poking and prodding and exploring. That's a lot of what the game is about.
Soft crying?
No, not really.
Later.
Perhaps, I guess. I don't know. It just kind of has this, you know, just, is this okay? Is this dead? It's a lot of trial and error, but apparently there is no penalty. I mean, you can continue to just go through survivor upon survivor upon survivor, but, you know, obviously you get more bonuses and your weapons get better the longer you stay alive.
It's probably also frustrating to, like, have to replay the same few areas and kill your corpse over and over again.
I would imagine so. All right, so double checking a few things. Also just checking some of the extra menus. At this point, I kind of, instead of just looking into, oh, how many bullets do I have? How much of this? Oh, look, my mission parameters. So just kind of, so all your info is there on your gamepad. So that's all the parameters of my missions, how my progress is, you know, any other stuff. That's my stats, how I've done so far, how long I've stayed alive, how my guns are doing. It's all there within the gamepad. So it's not just like it's some boring, oh, look at this, watching this guy thumb through a bunch of stuff. No, there's a reason for it. There's the discovery.
There's a reason we're boring you.
All of these items.
I imagine that every time I look through my inventory, I'm going to be frightened.
So just making sure and scanning everything.
What does that scanning actually do?
So when you find items in the environment that are useful, sometimes it will indicate. You can scan if there are live zombies. You can actually, without confronting them, scan and see if maybe if they have something you can collect off of them after you've killed them.
Mm-hmm. So those corpses, the ones earlier, like one of them ended up being a zombie, but the others weren't. Could you have just scanned and seen which were alive or which were undead?
From what I could tell from the time that I got it to work, I believe so.
Oh, okay.
It's not something I repeated because, again, this is kind of my first really in-depth playthrough. We're watching me fumble around through.
Though I imagine still you'd probably, even regardless, you'd probably still hit them with your cricket bat just to be safe.
Scan the junction box.
Oh, yes. And now he's telling me, wait, go back downstairs. So the junction box is there. So, a lot more trial and error. That's not it. And the thing is, at this point, I wasn't familiar with what the junction boxes for the CCTVs looked like. So, that's not it. That's it. That unlocks the CCTV. So now you can see the map just popped up.
The CCTV cameras are back online. Every time you scan one of those junction boxes, I'll hack it and update your smart map.
Sounds like a
Take a look at your
guy from Call of Duty.
Oh, then that happened. And they really do sell the physical exhaustion that it takes to swing a cricket bat and
Over
brain,
and over again.
well, to brain something with it.
Now, find your way back to that shortcut you passed earlier and get your ass back to the safe house in one piece.
That's the part I was working on.
This is getting scary.
Yeah, this is the part where it gets tense. You hear things shrieking. You're like, where's that coming from?
Probably just your imagination.
No. Something is shrieking. It's a question of, is it shrieking in your vicinity or not?
Or is it like a background shriek?
Yeah. Then you make your way outside.
Whoa, what is...
That bloody punk's making enough noise to raise
Wait.
the dead.
Okay.
So, my strategy?
Get out of there.
Oh, he's literally a punk.
Yes. So that was my next strategy. All right, use that. Take him out. Keep them distracted.
So what? So he's electric?
I think so. Like that. I didn't even think about it too much. I just said at this point, run.
Yeah, don't question why the thing eating you is
Just
glowing.
keep going.
Just acknowledge that it's a terrible thing that it's doing it.
Exactly. Oh, and there's something coming around the corner, and it's still got to load the next area, which of course builds the tension. So I'm trying to stave her off. You were talking about the strategy of using the cricket bat to push something off. Here you go. Here's everything in motion. So we're trying to take her out, and then those two get under the fence. So again, wounded, trying to stay alive. Shoving, I've got 3 zombies at once. There's a door open over there. Again, stay alive as long as you can. Shove, move. And close the damn door and get out. So, that's ZombiU. It is going to be coming out for launch with the Nintendo Wii U. Thanks for watching, and trust me, you'll be just as nervous as I was if you picked this one up on launch day. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more content on GamesRadar.com.